What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's video, where today we're going to be looking again at the top 10 MVs of 2021. You guys have actually just asked me like, hey, can you actually have a look at the MVs that I have not looked at? And that's not a problem at all. I want to look at them, and I would say let's just look at the couple of MVs that I just didn't see in 2021 and analyze them right now with you guys. I want to see why you guys voted them into the top 10, and maybe there's a reason for it. I'm not saying I'm going to agree with it because I've not seen it yet, but I'm very curious nonetheless. So I would just say let's jump into the video. Let's see what it's all about, and we're going to start off with Ace and higher. And of course, guys, if you do enjoy the content you see right now and you want to see more analysis of me where I'm just honestly talking about whether the good part or what the good parts are of an MV or what the bad parts are, then just make sure you hit that like button, make sure you subscribe, and let's enjoy this together. Again, the goal of this channel is to be open-minded rather than just accepting everything and going wow, wow, wow. We also want to look at whether we can improve MVs, because damn, there are some groups out there that always want to just get better at what they're doing. Anyway, enough talk, let's get into the video. Okay, hold up. I just want to start off with this moonshot. I think it's very interesting what they did here with the spotlight. They're basically making a light from the top that makes it looks as if the light is coming from the moon. The one issue that, you know, if you want to sell it a little bit more realistically, you would have to make sure that there's a little bit more shadow, you know, coming from behind. So, AKA the light source, the moon is behind them, so there should be a bit of a shadow right here. You see that? You know, you have to think about where's the light coming from, but it's still clever, you know, the round shape, and it fits to the size of the moon. It's about being smart, and they, you know, they nearly got it. Alrighty. Oh man, I love these kind of sets. Like, let's go back here. I mean, just look at this thing. I don't know what it's supposed to be, an iceberg or a mountain. Doesn't even matter. But what I like about it is just that it's very, how do I say it? It's very simply made. It's like paper mache. Is that the term for it as well in English? I hope so. But it's just some simple elements that they put together to build up a set. Very simple, but it's effective. You know, it's about being creative and using what you have. But I have a question. Is there a hole over here in the paper or not? Like, you know, I love that it still shows the roughness of the set, and that's nice. Very nice. Again, it's about interacting with a real element. I think this is an inflatable ball that I can see because he's able to wobble it very simply. But it's nice that he's actually interacting with something that's realistic, and I didn't try to CGI a fake moon into there. It will look a bit weird. Also, I just want to say you can see that this is a bit of a cheaper budget, because normally if you look at bigger scenes, they will have a big LED wall behind them, but they only have one section. The question is this because of budgeting or because of design? We'll find out throughout the video. I just put up the volume for you guys. That was actually cool. What was that in the mirror? One sec. Was that is that a TV? Oh, that's so cool. So I think personally, and I remember this because Samsung was creating these TVs, you know, Samsung Frame, I think it was called, and they tried to frame in TVs, you know, to make them look as if you can put art on top of them. Very seamless, especially with those new modern panels, those OLED panels where black is basically black. I think this is one of those screens. I really love the integration of it actually, because it just promotes the product. I thought this was actually a painting, but now that I saw the, you know, the effect, all of a sudden, this is something that has to be programmed in the system. Or this also could have been green screen, they made it black, and then they added an effect to it. But it could be that this is just a TV. Very cool. Okay, actually, now that I see it, I think it was a green screen, because you can see a bit of a reflection here from his hands, and it has like a 3D touch to the reflection, aka you have the glass, and then you also have the element behind it, so it has to be a frame. Either way, it would have been cool if they actually used an OLED TV there, you know, just to make it look very seamless. Also would have been cool to promote a futuristic product, which I still think is amazing to look at. Very nice. Contrasting scene. Okay, so let's continue here for a second. Let's first talk about the entire setup here. I like it. I like what they did here. They tried to reuse what they already, or where they already were. They're in the same location with that thing they built themselves and that one LED panel in the background. Very cool. Now, the one thing that I noticed, that you can see that they're basically in like a green screen room. You can see that wherever you see black, that is fake, because the moment they start panning, you can see it doesn't really fit to the set. You know, it doesn't fit to the movement. If you move, you know, the star should move accordingly, actually. This is one thing that is really tough to do, but it's called 3D tracking. And you should always try to make sure that when you're in 3D space or 3D elements or in a 3D studio, you should more or less make sure that it's still moving a little bit with the set. And that's one thing they could have maybe worked on, because as you can see, the way I'm moving the camera, the stars don't really move accordingly to the way the camera is moving. Small things like that could just pump up the scene up a little bit more, make it a little bit more accurate. And this is something that I always just try to do with what I try to do, that you need to just be able to make sure that whatever you do, that it's somehow still realistic. So this small change could really have made the scene so much better. And I mean, I picked it up. I don't know if you guys picked it up, but you always have to think about the 3D surroundings. I love the setup though. The colors are great. You know, these pastel colors, very nice. Let's look about. Again, there's a lot of these contrasting scenes that I really, really like. Let's just look at them, and then all of a sudden the lights go off. I love it. I'm just thinking about it though. Is he in a green screen room? Like, AKA, I thought all of this was real, but now that I think about it, it could have just been all fake. Let's see. So the wall behind him and the painting behind him is fake, because you can see the shadows of all the objects, you know, that are really there, and the rest turns into a green screen. Man, this is really cool. I mean, here the green screen is top notch. It looks as if he's really in this room. Another thing that I really like about the MV so far is that the scenes are nice and wide, aka you can see the entire set, you can see the props. I still think that even though you're on a low budget when filming, you should still show as much as possible. You put a lot of time into these elements, so you should capture them. On top of that, it's just very nice to get wide angles because you can see the entire group. And that's one thing that I can already know with A.C.E. Like, I didn't see any of their videos in the past, but you can see that they're really trying to focus on making the group as if they are just one unit, you know, that you don't have one that is better than the other, or one has a bigger part than the other. It's very nice actually to see this. I always try to compliment this because it's very important that when you're a group, you need to, you know, you need to become one. Again, also very cool here. I saw this already when I was looking at the top 10. So when I was looking and selecting the scenes, look at the cinema bars. They're basically going to come down. Very, very nice, because it just shows and indicates, okay, we're going back away from the main part and we're going into a cinematic part. Just makes the scene a little bit more focused. Very nice shot. Oh my god, I thought they were spikes, but now that I see it, they're just zip ties. I mean, that is so cool. Let's have a look at it. I mean, it's just about being creative, and they're really just nailing it. Awesome. The colors are really good. The color grade is great. Again, when you do color grading, look at the skin tones. If the skin tones look very natural, then it's a good color grade. And here they look fantastic. It looks alive. It looks vibrant. Very nice. Very nice personal shots. You know, focusing on the small details, very important as well. Allows people to focus a little bit more on the characteristics, about what the story is about to tell. That's one thing I really like about this video so far. They're really working a lot with shadows, with very dark contrasts, aka you have a shadow, two shadow relief figures here, and then you have a background. Very simple to pull off, but it's just effective, and that's something that I like. Only because you're on a budget doesn't mean you can film bad. It's all just about playing it safe, but also playing it smartly, and here they're doing both. Very nice. Very nice. I'm still thinking whether it would have been better if they had more panels, LED panels here. Like, what do you guys think? Do you think it would have been nicer if they had this entire wall with effects, or do you think this is enough? For me, it's like a 50-50 question, because I'm thinking it's nice, but I have a feeling it could be nicer if there was maybe a little bit more going on there. But then I'm also thinking it's a bit awkward that it's just this small panel. Like, it's not too big, if you know what I mean. And I maybe would have been interested to see if they just did this entire wall with LED panels, aka what we see here, but then extend it all the way across the scene. What do you guys think? Very nice. Again, cinema bars arrive. Awesome. You can clearly see that on this day they had a sunny day, and if you look at the set, the reflection of the floor is bouncing back up again, aka the light is coming from the bottom. It looks really, really nice actually. Again, look how always the shots are nice and wide. They're collecting all the people in a shot. You know, everyone is part of the group. Very nice. It's very focused like that. That is it. Oh, look at the cinema bars basically closing, you know, to finalize the scene. That is very, very nice, actually. I'm thinking who shot this MV, because I thought, okay, I looked at the font here from higher. I thought, okay, then maybe that's SM Entertainment. But no, it's actually 1TheK. So basically one of those smaller groups. And you guys actually said that the smaller groups are normally on this channel before they actually grow. I want to say I actually understand why you guys voted this in. It makes sense that also these smaller groups with smaller budgets really try to pull off as much as possible. Now, I'm not going to say this MV is perfect in any way. I'm not going to say it's trying to be BTS on that level, but for what they did, they really tried to make the most out of it and tried to make the MV as effective as possible. And I can totally understand why you guys have voted it into the top 10 MVs of 2021. I mean, what do you guys actually think? Do you think this is an MV worth the top 10 21? Do you not think? Of course, the people who voted in, I can totally understand, but for me, I like it. I think small budgets and to see what you can do with it is always a challenge. But once you create something awesome, it's always worth it. I don't know what it is, but it's like, damn, can you imagine what we pulled off with such a small budget? It's always really fun. And guys, I just want to say thank you again for voting this in. I really enjoy watching these videos to see what you can pull off and to see how you can still be creative. And again, I'm talking about budget, but here you can see by making it cheaper, you can still get something that is really, really good, that is liked by the many, aka I can understand again why you guys voted it in, because hey, it is actually really a good MV. And of course, guys, that is really it for today. I don't have too much to say. I really just like the color grade. I love the color palettes. Really nice pastel colors, I think they are. Very simple, but nice and powerful. And the skin tones are top notch. It looks really, really clean. And of course, guys, if you did enjoy the video that you watched right now, then all you have to do is make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you on the next video. We're going to slowly go back into the normal rhythm of actually editing, but I actually just want to go and do this in a chill way. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.